Welcome back to Sports Lagniappe. I'm here with Ruffin Rodrigue, the proprietor here of Ruffino's. And when you visit Ruffino's, you know, Ruffin, it's not just the great food, the great atmosphere, but it's the memorabilia on the walls, the art, the photos, the autographed photos with the cavalcade of stars that have come through your restaurant. But let's start first with the Rodrigue painting, obviously, your namesake here. And tell us a little bit about this George Rodrigue painting.
Well, George and I have been friends for a long time, distant cousins. All Rodrigues are related in some kind of way in South Louisiana. And we were talking at the Washington Mardi Gras Ball one year, and he brought it up. He said, man, I'd love to, because he had the LSU Blue Dog that was for the LSU Foundation and the TAF and the whole deal, and had a #1 on it. And he said, how about I do a Rodrigue painting? It's a good story because we're both Rodrigues. You started at LSU, and he's a big fan, so he did this painting for us. He just showed up one night on a Tuesday night with a packed house and brought it into us, and people loved it, so we put it up. And he actually made little Blue Dog pins that to give out to his – he's the world's greatest marketer, by the way. Yeah. I mean, George is amazing what he's done with his art. And I have little Blue Dogs I give to my friends and special customers.
And 68 was your number.
Yes, 68 was my number.
Fantastic. You get a lot of people talking about this?
I do. We do, because it's such an iconic story with the Blue Dog. And he's actually in our Lafayette location, Ruffino's on the River. He's given us 2 original, brand new Blue Dog paintings that we've displayed there. So it's a pretty special deal.
Another one of the beautiful paintings here that people like to talk about is this one right here of you and your father.
Yeah, this is done by Jack Jobert, who was the All-SEC center from Lafayette, played at LSU in I think in the late 60s. Jack played, and he was a big fan of my dad's. My dad played before him, and this is a funny story because he actually did this in 1988. And you notice all the bowls, the 4 bowls he went to, and the 4 bowls I went to. Well, I think he was mistaken and thought I was a senior because I walked into the office in 1989 and I saw the painting, and I was going to be a senior. And I saw it, I went, what about my senior year? Well, we went 4 and 7, so he wasn't able to put a bowl on there, so he jinxed us. But it's a great painting. This is the actual original, and I had some prints made from my dad and my grandfather and my brother. And this is just a classic. Jack is one of the best. I mean, he does all LSU's portraits, and this has just been a great storyteller for me and the family. And I love when customers have some cocktails and they come in and ask me if I played with my dad. That's my favorite.
In an earlier Sports Lagniappe, we talked about the 25th anniversary of the earthquake game, and we referred to the actual seismograph, and you have that actual seismograph reading from the earthquake game which you played in as well.
Yeah, this is a little montage that somebody put together for actually Tommy Hodson, my roommate at LSU, and Tommy actually gave this to me. He didn't have a place to put it at his house for some reason, so Tommy gave it to me. I put it up, and people love it. It's a great story, a classic year. It's 25 years this year. I was actually the left guard, starting left guard that year, and I love to tell the story about the earthquake game because everybody remembers the pass and the catch and the 4th down play and all that, but nobody realizes that I was the one that actually felt the earthquake because my guy, Stallworth, beat me around the corner, and I was actually on the ground. He's the guy that hit Tommy, and I was praying that he wouldn't hit him, but he got the ball off in time.
But
the earth did shake, I promise you.
But it was a snap.
I don't think it was the earth or me shaking because I was so scared.
But it was a snafu with the geology department why it was even on. Correct?
Yeah, it was an intern left it on. And the professor got back the next day and saw a big blot and said, what is this? And he timed it out and said, wow. And you can actually see the blot before it was the 4th down catch by Willie Williams to extend the drive, because if he doesn't extend that drive, we go home with a loss.
So many earthquakes here in Louisiana, not. But anyway, that's a great story.
Actually, this is a hand drawing of Simba from the Lion King, the baby lion to become king. And this is Rob Minkoff, a picture of Rob Minkoff and myself, who is the producer, director, creator of the Lion King. And Rob was here for a shoot in Baton Rouge in the film industry. And I asked him because they had vaulted or put away DVDs. You couldn't get The Lion King on DVD, and my son wanted one. And so I asked him about it. He didn't say a word. He took one of the Ruffino's napkins out, took a pen, and he scripted within a minute a script of Simba and signed it and put the date on it. And his producer had it framed and sent to me from Baton Rouge. So it's been great. I mean, it's a great story, and he was a great guy, and I'm a big fan of the movie and the story. So I think it's a cool deal.
All right, now we're here outside the wine cellar at Ruffino's. A couple more fantastic artifacts, including this wonderful crystal ball.
Crystal ball, actually from Waterford Crystal. The year of 2003, when Coach Saban in the second national championship, they were actually about 12 of these, or 15 or 12, made by a guy in Lee Berg, a local jeweler in town from Lee Michaels. Had them made because he had a relationship with a guy there. Not illegally done, but kind of just done on the side. And we got one, and a bunch of people in Baton Rouge got one. 15 people in Baton Rouge got one. And there was a guy that came by one day and saw it, and I think he worked for the NCAA. Didn't know that Waterford was doing this, and that next year they just stopped the extra balls. So it's really hard to get one now. So I'm sure the value of this is going up a little bit. So
and I know, offensive linemen not known for their hands. Please don't fumble. And then we have a helmet in here as well.
Yeah, that's actually my helmet from my senior year in 1989, and it's kind of funny. If you pick up that helmet now, it weighs about 20 pounds more than the helmets today. And they want to talk about concussions. I think we got a little issue there, because that's a heavy helmet, and it's a big one. If you see my head. And then right behind it is a picture I saw in the Advocate one day, and it just drew to me. It was the first one I saw like of its kind. I contacted the Advocate. I forgot the guy's name. The actual photographer. He contacted me. And he said he would love to display it in the restaurant. And, legally you got to go through him. He blew it up for me, and it's been in there ever since. And it's Kelvin Shepard, who's a really good friend of mine, who plays for the Indianapolis Colts right now, who's in the middle and grabbed the team together. And just shows team unity, and it's what LSU's all about.
Upon entering Ruffino's, you're greeted by the cavalcade of stars, and there's been a lot who've come through the doors here at Ruffino's, and Ruff always manages to get a photo with them.
Yeah, and it's a good thing about Baton Rouge. Not only is it's a great college town. You have the Saints, you have pro athletes that come through, but all the celebrities, because of the uprising movie industry in Baton Rouge and Louisiana with the tax credits. And I love it because I was able to meet Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey when they were married, and Bridget Monahan, Tom Brady's ex, and just several. Snoop Dogg came through, and Lionel Richie was actually my favorite. That picture we took with Lionel Richie was about 3:30 in the morning. And he had a concert the next day, and he thanked me for his headache the next day, and he was a special person. So it's a lot of fun. We also have a lot of LSU.
A lot of famous broadcasters and athletes as well.
Yeah, broadcasters, actually. Yeah, absolutely. And Kirk Herbstreit and Chris Fowler, and four of the head coaches, Paul Dietzel, who recently passed, Bill Onsberger, my first coach, and Mike Archer and Jerry Stovall, all in one picture with me, which is a special. It was on the sidelines, so it was a special picture for me. And the only one I don't have up right now is Willie Nelson. I have that one in Lafayette, because they for some reason I need celebrities over there, and that was the one they connected with the most. So, but we have a lot of fun stuff in here. Peter has a bunch in here. He's got Willem Dafoe on the wall. And I was actually in the movie with Willem Dafoe last year, small role, but it's a lot of fun to have all these celebrities come through, and they enjoy the restaurant. So it's a lot of fun.
Tell me about it. The kids need braces, I need a root canal, and Dad's old dentures are broken. That means 3 dental appointments all across town. Bobby Abear?
Mom, you need to call Louisiana Dental Center. They see kids and adults and have specialists at every location. They even have Friday and Saturday appointments.
That's great. I'll call him now. But who's gonna do the dishes?
Yeah, I know, me and my big mouth.
The best tires on the road from brands like Michelin, BF Goodrich, and more. 6 months no interest, free oil changes, and the cleanest stores in the industry. All this at 4 convenient locations. We are Skid Marks Tires and Auto Service. Leave your mark.
Toothache.
Gingivitis.
Plaque.
Cavity. Tartar. Tooth decay.
Gum disease.
Abscess tooth?
What's that?
A filling, not a crown.
A bridge?
You mean I need a root canal?
Come on, man.
The only thing worse than hearing those words is hearing that your dentist can't see you today. Call Louisiana Dental Center, home of the same-day appointment.
For 20 years, First Choice has made your life better with our great selection of brand name furniture, electronics, and appliances at flexible payment plans to meet any budget. And at First Choice, there are no credit checks and no one's refused. Come into any First Choice location or shop online at firstchoicerto.com.
Edna Carr High School is chock full of blue chip recruits, and we've met a couple of them in earlier Sports Lagniappe episodes. Today we meet safety Donnie Alexander. Derek Panamsky catches up with Alexander the Great.
At Edna Carr High School with defensive back Donnie Alexander. Donnie, it's been an interesting couple of weeks, couple of months for you. Thus far this season, you guys have played a treacherous schedule. Got a little bit banged up there as you go through there, but overall, pretty good little senior year you're putting together, right?
This year we really wanted to come out and prove to everybody that we got one of the best teams in the country and in our state.
When you look at where you've been as a prospect, a guy that, getting an offer by LSU, committing to LSU, having the recruiting process out of the way for you, how's that been for you, kind of being able to just focus on your senior year at Carr?
I think that really took a lot of stress off my shoulders because once I got that offer, I already knew what I wanted to do. But that's school that I've really been putting in the hard work and waiting for to get. As soon as I got it, I couldn't let it go past. I just had to commit.
When you think about your time at Carr last year, winning a state championship, this year putting yourself and with your teammates, putting yourself into a position to play a really tough schedule. St. Aug, John Curtis, these guys in the regular season, and then everything else you got in the postseason. Do you feel like that competition is really what kind of drives you guys around here to be the best you can be?
I think it does because last year we played a few tough teams, but this year it really shows that we can really compete on a national level, playing the #1 running back in the country, and then playing Curtis when they was #1 in the nation last year, and that really showed that we can compete with everybody.
When you think about the way that everything has kind of gone with this, and you talk about playing the best. Being here at Carr, being good enough to play for this school, the competition that you have every single day, is that something that really has helped your development as a football player?
Because going into my sophomore year, I was really goofy with my style of play, and then I was senior linebacker last year, #7. He really helped me a lot, and he just kept pushing me, and that's really how I am, how I got to be how I am today.
When you think about finishing up your senior year, getting on to the next level, playing college football, what's the things that kind of motivate you and focus you on finishing up strong here at Carr?
Going win another state championship. That's what really motivated me the most, is going to win the state championship.
And then when you think about the college, getting that chance to play, staying in purple and gold, getting a chance to play at LSU, what's some of your thoughts about that?
I just when I get there, it's going to be a whole different type of mentality when I get there, because I'm trying to play early. I'm not trying to sit behind anybody. So when I get there, it's going to be it's going to feel like I'm unleashing something like a whole different person to get what I want.
Well, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
The best tires on the road from brands like Michelin, BF Goodrich, and more. 6 months no interest, free oil changes, and the cleanest stores in the industry. All this at 4 convenient locations. We are Skid Marks Tires and Auto Service. Leave your mark.
Tell me about it. The kids need braces, I need a root canal, and Dad's old dentures are broken. That means 3 dental appointments all across town. Bobby Abear?
Mom, you need to call Louisiana Dental Center. They see kids and adults and have specialists at every location. They even have Friday and Saturday appointments.
That's great. I'll call him now. But who's gonna do the dishes?
Yeah, I know, me and my big mouth.
For 20 years, First Choice has made your life better with our great selection of brand name furniture, electronics, and appliances at flexible payment plans to meet any budget. And at First Choice, there are no credit checks and no one's refused. Come into any First Choice location or shop online at firstchoicerto.com.
Louisiana Dental Center, the preferred dental office of the New Orleans Saints and the LSU Tigers. Your dental home team.
Tiger Rag's Luke Johnson is an up-and-coming sports journalist. He's also an out-of-towner, so he gives us a different take on our 5 media questions. First of all, the best game you ever covered?
I would have to say it was the Alabama-LSU game last year. That was just an incredible game. I was very lucky to actually be able to cover it. I was the sports editor at the Daily Reveille at the time, the LSU student newspaper. So I got to go up there, and the fans were crazy the entire time. People didn't really expect LSU to be in it as much as they were, but they were, and just the atmosphere in that game was incredible. Obviously, it didn't turn out the way LSU fans wanted to, but it's just an incredible game.
Still a good choice. How about the best player you ever covered?
Patrick Peterson, hands down. That guy is such an incredible athlete, and maybe that's slanted a little bit by how well he's doing in the pros right now. But when he was here, he was easily the best athlete I've ever seen play live.
You've been around the SEC a little bit. What's your favorite venue outside of Tiger Stadium?
I actually, it's not an SEC venue, but I actually had a lot of fun up in Morgantown when I went to the 2011 LSU West Virginia game, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, obviously, it wasn't a great game, and a lot of fans kind of left a little bit early, but that was pretty fun. I actually, if we're going strictly SEC. The atmosphere at Jordan-Hare Stadium, I was there in 2010 when Cam Newton was there. That was pretty crazy. So I'm looking forward to going to Georgia. I'm going to Georgia this week for the first time. Looking forward to seeing what that's like.
What is your favorite LSU football season you've ever been a part of?
2011. It didn't really end well, obviously, but I went to just about every game. The only game I missed out was the Ole Miss game, and man, they were a fun team to cover, just dominating people all throughout the year, and it was just really kind of fun to watch and see just how overmatched everybody else was against them up until the last game of the year. So 2011 was far and away my favorite season to cover.
Finally, your favorite player growing up?
I'm from Wisconsin, so he isn't really my favorite player now, but growing up it was Brett Favre, hands down. I actually have a couple different autographed footballs and 8x10s, and after he signed with the Vikings, all that stuff got turned around and faced the wall in my closet. So, I was the biggest Brett Favre fan you could find growing up.
Awesome. Thanks, Luke.
Toothache.
Gingivitis.
Plaque. Cavity. Tartar. Tooth decay.
Gum disease.
Abscess tooth?
What's that?
A filling, not a crown.
A bridge?
You mean I need a root canal?
Come on, man.
The only thing worse than hearing those words is hearing that your dentist can't see you today. Call Louisiana Dental Center, home of the same-day appointment.
For 20 years, First Choice has made your life better with our great selection of brand name furniture, electronics, and appliances at flexible payment plans to meet any budget. And at First Choice, there are no credit checks and no one's refused. Come into any First Choice location or shop online at firstchoicerto.com.
Louisiana Dental Center, the preferred dental office of the New Orleans Saints and the LSU Tigers. Your dental home team.
Looking for something both delicious and creative for your next tailgate party? Leave it to Ruffino's to come up with something that will truly dazzle the palate of your guests. Well, we're joined by Chef Gino Sclafani of the famous Sclafani brothers. And Chef, what do we have today for this wonderful tailgating recipe?
Well, what we're going to do today is we're going to do speckled trout with sauteed shrimp and shrimp butter. And I know when I start talking about shrimp butters and different butters, everybody says, oh, that's too complicated. Right. I'm going to show you it's not. Okay. It's very easy.
Sounds delicious.
So what I'm going to do is I have some beautiful speckled trout. Now, I'm going to use my Creole seasoning that we make here at Ruffino's. You can use anything that you want. You can buy it at the store. What I do is I like to season the protein itself. So what happens is a lot of times I see people put the seasoning in the flour. It just doesn't coat it well enough. So I season the fish, both sides, and I'm going to dust it in a little bit of flour. I have my olive oil already heating up. So I'm going to go ahead and let that cook. So now for my shrimp butter, what I did is when I peeled my shrimp, I saved all the shells and the heads, and I cooked that down, okay, in a little bit of butter, and then I put my water on top and boil it. So what I do is now I have shrimp stock right here. So now I have that hot. I'm going to go ahead and add unsalted butter. And what you do is I use a little stick blender, and again, you just want to go kind of slow, and you just put in a little butter at a time. You don't want to add all your butter at once because then it won't hold. So what we're going to do is just go ahead and just emulsify this. And then
emulsifying, for those of us who may not be in the know.
Sure. What happens is I'm keeping the butter from just melting, so it's going to look almost like a cream.
Okay.
Because what happens if you throw all your butter in at once, it's just going to start to melt and it'll never hold, and it'll look greasy. This way, it won't, and it's going to have that nice, rich flavor to it.
Now, is trout the only fish you can use with this? Just your personal favorite, or are there others you can use?
Right now I'm finding trout. We're starting to catch some trout, so that's why I'm using that. But you can use any fish you want. And what's great about these butters, if you have some gumbo crabs, you can actually boil them. Don't use crab boil. Just boil them in water and make a stock. And you can do crab butter. You can also, if you had lobster, you can do lobster butter. You can do any kind of butter that you want. And that's what I love about this recipe. So we got that.
It smells delicious.
Oh, thank you. Just going to take that off the fire. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start sauteing my shrimp.
About how long on each side on the trout?
It depends on the thickness, on how big it is. But usually I'd say about 2 minutes on each side, because you don't want to just overcook it.
Sure.
So now what I do is I have my shrimp, and I'm going to take my little Creole season again, just kind of toss it in it. Put that in the olive oil. And again, one of the things I find is a lot of times people try to they just overcook it,
right,
and you don't need to. So this fish is almost done, and the shrimp is just starting to saute, and they're going to start to curl. Once they just start to turn pink is when I just go ahead and flip them.
Taking this out to the tailgate, do you recommend preparation well in advance, or
well, you can actually
do this out there at the party?
Actually, you can, because usually this is only going to take just a few minutes. I mean, we're going to do it probably within 5 minutes of doing this. If you cook your fish ahead of time, it's going to probably start to fall apart. But you can definitely have it seasoned and floured ahead of time. Bring it out there, and then just get a little burner, and go ahead and cook it right there. These shrimp are going to be ready in just a couple of seconds. I'm going to go ahead and pull my fish off. Get a ladle, get my shrimp butter.
Shrimp butter sounds heavenly.
I'm telling you, it's absolutely delicious. And there you go.
That is a little classier than your normal tailgate.
Yeah.
Looks fantastic.
Yes, and it eats just as well.
I'm about to try it.
Tell me about it. The kids need braces, I need a root canal, and Dad's old dentures are broken. That means 3 dental appointments all across town.
Bobby Bear?
Mom, you need to call Louisiana Dental Center. They see kids and adults and have specialists at every location. They even have Friday and Saturday appointments.
That's great. I'll call him now. But who's going to do the dishes?
Yeah, I know, me and my big mouth.
For 20 years, First Choice has made your life better with our great selection of brand name furniture, electronics, and appliances at flexible payment plans to meet any budget. And at First Choice, there are no credit checks, no one's refused. Come into any First Choice location or shop online at firstchoicerto.com.
Toothache.
Gingivitis.
Plaque. Cavity. Tartar. Tooth decay.
Gum disease.
Abscess tooth?
What's that?
A filling, not a crown.
A bridge?
You mean I need a root canal?
Come on, man.
The only thing worse than hearing those words is hearing that your dentist can't see you today. Call Louisiana Dental Center, home of the same-day appointment.
The best tires on the road from brands like Michelin, BF Goodrich, and more. 6 months no interest, free oil changes, and the cleanest stores in the industry. All this at 4 convenient locations. We are Skid Marks Tires and Auto Service. Leave your mark.
Louisiana Dental Center, the preferred dental office of the New Orleans Saints and the LSU Tigers. Your dental home team.
Ronnie Feast is yet another key component to John Chavis's defense. We had a chance to meet Ronnie Feast.
Ray Lewis, I have to say.
And why is that?
He just has his approach to the game, his dominance, and he expects perfection when he plays.
And are you a gamer, and what games do you play, if so?
I'm not as much of a gamer as I used to be because I thrive on competition now. But in any game I play now, I try to win by any means. Girls, anybody, I try to win.
Talk to me about the girls then. So you are competitive when it comes to girls as well?
Not in that aspect. If I'm available for it, I'm competitive when trying. But currently, I'm not seeking any right now.
And so talk to me about the music that you listen to get hyped. What's your go-to right now?
I listen to rap. I like to listen to a rap, whatever song maybe it comes on. Listen to maybe new, some R&B. It's just different vibes, maybe intense to get my mind in a different zone and ready to play the game.
Okay. And what's your favorite movie?
That's a hard question. My favorite movie right now would have to be Remember the Titans. I'll say Remember the Titans. Yeah.
And talk to me about are you a freshman? No, you're not. Talk to me about the first time ever running through the tunnel at Tiger Stadium.
A lot of the guys say it's a crazy feeling, but until you do it, you'll never know how crazy it is. It's just so intense. Like, it feels like just you out there, the lights, the color of the sky is black. It's just people cheering. It's a great feeling. It's something I'm going to remember for the rest of my life.
And has it changed over the years? Is it any different from the first time still to this time? Do you still get just as hyped?
Well, being that I play football, it's the same nervous feeling before every game, but hopefully this season is going to be the same great, and I'm going to be loving and do it again. So it should be amazing again.